The 2022 New York Jets regular season schedule has released. What are some of the highlights and what are some of the more intense stretches of games the New York Jets have to go through in this upcoming season? Let's go ahead and let's get after it. What's going on, Jets fans? My name is John and welcome to Jets Today. Before I get into the video, if I could get you to please jet up that like button, and if you're new here and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I want to let you know that in the biggest video of my channel's history, I recently uploaded it. It was a video about Carl Lawson returning from his injury. That video got over 7,000 views, and 82% of those views were from people that are not subscribed to Jets Today. If you've been watching the videos and if you've been hitting that like button and enjoying the content, I'm asking you to please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. It helps to grow the channel. It supports me as a content creator. Thank you so much, Jet fans, and I really, really appreciate it. I feel like every schedule has some quirks in them, but this is one of the most bizarre beginnings to a season that I've ever seen for the New York Jets in my entire life. We're playing the entire AFC North the first 4 weeks of the season. So we're at home versus the Baltimore Ravens, traveling to the Cleveland Browns week 2. Week 3, we're back home versus the Cincinnati Bengals, the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. And then finally traveling to Pittsburgh in week 4. Again, very, very strange. Is it a big deal? Not necessarily. We were going to play all 4 of these teams regardless of when they were on the schedule. I just think it's pretty odd that the NFL chose to do this. But anyway, it's interesting, and it's going to be a really big test for the New York Jets. The AFC North is one of the best divisions in the conference, if you ask me. It is, top to bottom, very, very strong. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they have been one of the most consistent organizations, over, the entire NFL's history. And they might be, the weakest team, and they're just so good, for so long. They've been one of the most consistent. So the Jets are going to have a tough start to the season, but I like our chances in pretty much all of the games. And I am saying that even knowing that the Cincinnati Bengals were just in the Super Bowl. We also did beat them last year, and I don't think that they're necessarily a perfect football team. And in some ways, I feel like they might even be in for sort of a slump, if you will, from losing that Super Bowl. I think they might regress a little bit in some ways. So looking at the first 4 games, pretty peculiar. And again, it's going to be really, really important that the New York Jets just do not fall way, way behind after these first 4 games. We do not want to see 1-3. We do not want to see 0-4. That would be the worst case scenario. So the first 4 weeks are pretty tough, but I believe that actually weeks 5 through 9 are even more challenging, and some of the road games are just really, really daunting. And it starts with a week 5 matchup versus the Miami Dolphins, and we are at home. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle this in red right now. The New York Jets have to win this football game. It's not just another football game. It's an AFC East game. We are at home. And we're playing a team that I'm not necessarily saying that we should beat or that we are superior to. But if we're going to start to see this team turn the corner and start to really, make a statement that they're going to be involved at the end of this season, you can't lose this football game. I don't care what you say to me. This week 5 matchup is a crucial game. You then follow that up with a road trip to Green Bay, and you follow that up with another road trip to Denver, playing the Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers, one of the best teams in the NFC. Then you've got the Russell Wilson Denver Broncos. We played the Broncos last year, and we got our butts kicked. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time, but you're seeing, another elite quarterback playing for this team. It's going to be a really tough matchup, back-to-back weeks there. Then you're going to be home for the next 2 weeks versus the New England Patriots and versus the Buffalo Bills. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle another game. That New England matchup, that week 8 matchup versus the New England Patriots, it's a must win. We cannot continue to lose. As I said with the Dolphins matchup, we cannot continue to lose to these AFC East teams like the Dolphins and like the Patriots continuously forever and expect things to change. It's just not going to happen. And when you look at the first 9 games of this season, it is against some really good quarterbacks, and it's also against some really good teams in the AFC. I just think that it's such a tough start to the season, but then things do start to ease up a little bit, and the New York Jets are going to hit a bye week at week 10, which is a really, really good spot to kind of, regroup, especially after this rough, beginning of the season that they are going to have, and kind of recalibrate and figure out, where do we go from here and how do we improve, because the schedule does soften up. Over the final 8 weeks of the Jets season, they are going to face 6 teams that did not make the playoffs in 2021. I realize that doesn't necessarily mean everything going into a different football season, but there are some games that are very, very winnable to end the season. We've got the Detroit Lions, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Chicago Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, and you can even go ahead and throw in there that we should potentially be able to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think that that's a matchup that we can't necessarily come out on top. The 2 games that are very difficult are going to be the road game in New England and obviously the road game in Buffalo. Very, very difficult to win both of those games. I would be shocked if we came away a winner in either one of those. The big thing that I want to emphasize here is nobody knows anything. You heard me speculate about a lot of these football games. I think that there's so many things that can change from now until the beginning of the season. And as year to year goes, we don't know what these teams are. The Cincinnati Bengals were not viewed as a Super Bowl team, prior to the 2021 season. So again, I just hope you understand this schedule. You can read it all you want. You can read it till your eyes bleed. We don't know what's going to happen with these teams, and anything can happen any season. So keep the optimism up high if you're a fan that believes the Jets can turn the corner. I still believe that we should be expecting a 7 to 8 win football team from this Jets team. And I'll probably do a season prediction video as the months go by, as we get closer to training camp. Let me know what you guys think about the Jets schedule. We now have an official schedule. Let me know which games you're planning to attend. I've already got my tickets to the Ravens game. Looking forward to getting to that one and hopefully meeting some of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Go Jets, and I'll see you guys next time.